you're watching this, delete it. My name is Marcus Chen. 2 days ago, I uploaded a video to my private cloud. I'm the only one with the password. But somehow, this appeared in my uploads. The thing is, I didn't film this. I was never supposed to survive Trail 317. But she wants you to see this. She wants you to find her. Three weeks ago, I was just another college student making TikToks about hiking trails. Me, Alex Rodriguez, and Jordan Blake. We called ourselves the Trailblazers. We had 50,000 followers who loved our extreme camping content. But we were getting bored of the same old trails everyone else was doing. That's when Jordan found something that changed everything. An estate sale. Some old woman's belongings. Jordan bought this vintage map for $3. It showed a trail that wasn't on any modern GPS. Trail 317. Deep in the Cascade Mountains. No reviews online, no Instagram posts, no nothing. We should have asked ourselves, why? Day one was incredible. We filmed everything. The perfect campsite, the untouched wilderness, the complete isolation. 23 miles from civilization. No cell service, just us and nature. But when the sun went down, something felt wrong. I kept hearing this humming, like a lullaby. I asked the guys, but they didn't hear anything. The next morning, I found footprints around our tent. Small, bare, female. Guys, we were 23 miles from the nearest house. But Jordan laughed it off. Said maybe it was a lost hiker. Alex made jokes about forest spirits. We should have packed up and left right then. Day 2. 2:47 p.m. We'd been hiking for about 4 hours, deeper into the woods than we'd ever gone before. The trail was getting narrower, more overgrown. And the canopy above was so thick that barely any sunlight made it through. I was checking my GPS, still no signal, but I was tracking our path manually. Jordan was ahead of me, maybe 20 feet, when he suddenly stops dead in his tracks. His whole body went rigid, like he'd seen a ghost.
Guys, there's someone here.
In the middle of the trail, like she'd been waiting for us her entire life, was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. And trust me, I'd seen plenty of girls on campus, but this was different. She looked to be in her early 20s, maybe 23, 24. Porcelain skin that literally seemed to glow in the filtered sunlight, like she had her own internal light source. Long, raven black hair, and I'm telling you, there was absolutely no breeze that day. But it was her dress that made my heart skip a beat. Blood red. Bright, vibrant crimson that stood out against the green forest like a warning sign. Like nature itself was trying to tell us to run.
Hi, boys. You look lost.
Her voice was like honey. Sweet, melodic, almost musical. But here's the thing that made my skin crawl. She knew our names. She looked directly at me and said,
Marcus, right. And that's Alex behind you. And Jordan up front.
she knew our names, and we'd never met her before in our lives. Alex immediately started filming. You know how we always filmed everything for our content? He was holding up his phone, getting the perfect shot for our followers. But when I glanced over at his screen to see how the footage looked, the screen showed an empty trail, just trees and dirt and shadows. But we could all see her standing there, clear as day, smiling at us with this perfect, too perfect smile. "What the hell?" Alex muttered, shaking his phone, thinking it was malfunctioning. But the screen kept showing the same thing, nothing. An empty trail where she should have been.
Dude, Marcus, look at the ground, behind her.
I followed Jordan's gaze down to the soft earth beneath her feet. We'd been leaving clear footprints in the mud all day. Our hiking boots, the treads clearly visible in the dirt. But behind her, nothing. No footprints. No disturbed earth. Nothing. Like she was floating inches above the ground. She laughed then, and it echoed through the trees in a way that shouldn't have been possible. The sound bounced off branches and trunks, multiplying and layering until it sounded like a dozen girls laughing at once. That night, we were setting up camp in a small clearing about half a mile from where we'd met the girl. None of us had talked much about the encounter. We were all processing what we'd seen, trying to rationalize it somehow. Alex was being his usual self, making jokes to lighten the mood. "Maybe she's a local who knows the area," he said while setting up his tent. "Maybe she's just really good at walking without leaving tracks." But I could see in his eyes that he was just as unsettled as the rest of us. As the sun started setting, we realized we were running low on firewood. The temperature was dropping fast, and we needed a good fire to get through the night. Alex volunteered to gather more wood, normal stuff. He'd done it 100 times on our camping trips. "I'll just grab some deadfall from around the perimeter," he called back to us. "Give me 20 minutes. He grabbed his headlamp and disappeared into the tree line. 20 minutes passed, then 30, then an hour.
Alex?
Jordan started calling,
Alex, where are you, man?
but there was no response. Just the sound of wind through the trees and our own increasingly panicked breathing. Jordan and I grabbed our flashlights and started searching. We spread out, covering every possible direction he could have gone. We screamed his name until our voices went hoarse, sweeping our flashlight beams across every tree trunk, every shadow, every possible hiding spot. We searched for 3 hours. 3 goddamn hours calling his name. Following every animal trail, checking behind every boulder and fallen log. But Alex. It was like he'd vanished into thin air. Finally, around midnight, Jordan's flashlight beam caught something red about 50 yards from our camp. We ran toward it, hoping it was Alex, hoping he was okay. It was his jacket. His favorite red flannel, the one he'd worn on every single one of our adventures. It was caught on a tree branch, about 8 feet off the ground. But Alex, nowhere. And here's what made my blood run cold. Carved into the tree bark directly beneath his jacket, cut deep and fresh, with sap still bleeding from the wounds, were 3 numbers, 317. Jordan's hands were trembling so badly he could barely hold his flashlight. "We need to get out of here," he kept saying. "We need to get out of here right now." I completely agreed. We packed up our gear in record time and tried to retrace our steps back to the trailhead. But here's where things got really weird. We'd been careful to mark our path with biodegradable trail markers. Little pieces of colored tape tied to branches every 100 yards or so. Standard hiking practice. But when we tried to follow them back, they were gone. Every single one. Like they'd never existed. We tried every direction. North, south, east, west. We used our compass, followed what we thought were the right paths. But no matter which direction we headed, no matter how carefully we navigated, every trail led us in a perfect circle back to the same clearing where we'd found Alex's jacket. Jordan pulled out his phone, thinking maybe we'd get lucky and pick up a signal. But the screen showed nothing but static. No signal bars, no GPS, not even emergency calls would go through. It was like we'd been cut off from the entire world. That's when we heard it.
Jordan. Come find me, Jordan. I have something to show you.
We spun around, and there she was. The girl in red, standing maybe 100 feet away at the edge of the clearing. Perfectly still, perfectly calm. But this time, she looked different. Her dress seemed brighter, more vibrant, like it was glowing in the darkness. And she was smiling. That same perfect, too perfect smile. But now I could see her teeth, white and sharp in the moonlight, and I realized something that made my stomach drop. In the 2 days we'd been watching her, talking to her, being near her, she had never blinked, not once. Her eyes were wide open, staring, unblinking. I stumbled backward, trying to get away from her gaze, and tripped over something in the undergrowth. An old photograph, yellowed and cracked at the edges. It was her, the same girl, same haunting smile, but the photo looked like it was from the 1970s. Jordan saw the photo and completely lost it, started screaming, cursing. "This isn't possible," he kept yelling. "This isn't possible." I tried to calm him down, but I couldn't stop staring at that photograph, trying to process what it meant. And then I noticed something else that made my hands shake even worse. I'd been watching this girl for 2 days now, studying her face, memorizing every detail. And I realized that in all that time, through all our interactions, she had never cast a shadow. After Jordan ran into the woods screaming, I was alone. Completely, utterly alone in a forest that seemed to be getting darker and more twisted by the minute. I tried to follow him, calling his name, but his voice faded into the distance until there was nothing but silence. I've been running for what feels like days. My legs are cramping, my throat is raw from screaming, and my water bottle has been empty for hours. But here's the thing that's driving me insane. My watch is stuck. 3:17 a.m. Always 3:17 a.m. I've watched it for hours, staring at the digital display, waiting for it to change, but the numbers never move. It's like time itself has stopped in this place. I keep thinking I'm making progress, finding new paths, getting closer to the edge of the forest. But then I'll turn a corner and there's that same fallen log I passed hours ago. The same distinctive rock formation. The same twisted tree with the carved numbers.
You can't leave, Marcus. You belong here now.
Her voice is right in my ear, like she's breathing down my neck. I can feel her breath on my skin, cold and unnatural. But when I spin around, when I whip my head back to look, she's standing across the clearing, 100 feet away, just like always. Smiling that perfect, horrible smile. How is she doing this? How is she speaking directly into my ear when she's so far away? I keep finding photographs scattered on the forest floor. Old ones from different decades, 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. All showing the same girl in the same red dress, never aging, never changing. And then I found the one that made my blood freeze. It was me. My face, wide with terror, mouth open in a silent scream. But the photo looked vintage, like it was taken with an old camera from the 1980s. The photo was dated 1987. I wasn't even born until 2003. That's when I understood. She doesn't just trap people here. She traps them in time. We're all here, from different decades, different years, all existing in the same moment. All stuck at 3:17 a.m. I can hear them now. Voices from different eras. A man calling for help in what sounds like a 1960s accent. A woman crying in the distance. Children's voices, young and scared. We're all here. All of us who found Trail 317. All of us who met the girl in red. We're trapped in her collection, preserved like insects in amber. Forever trying to escape a forest that exists outside of time. I understand now. She's not just a ghost or a spirit or whatever you want to call her. She's something much worse. She's a collector. She finds people, groups of friends, families, solo hikers, and she adds them to her collection until we die from isolation, hunger, and paranoia.
Help, Marcus, help. We're still here.
That's Alex and Jordan. They're still here, somewhere in this forest. Still calling out, still trying to escape. Still hoping someone will find them and lead them home. But we can't go home. We can never go home. Here's what you need to understand. Here's the real reason she wanted me to make this video. Why she's letting me record this message. She's not contained to Trail 317 anymore. Every time someone watches this video, every time someone shares it, every time someone talks about the girl in red, she gets stronger. Her reach extends further. She can touch more places, find more victims. Check your upload history right now. I'm serious. Pause this video and check your phone, your computer, your cloud storage. Look for videos or photos you didn't take, files that appeared mysteriously. Look for timestamps at 3:17 a.m.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for helping me spread. I can see you all now. I know where you live.
She can see you through your screens. She's looking at you right now. If you're watching this at 3:17 a.m., turn off your devices and run. Get out of your house. Don't stay alone. But remember, no matter how fast you run, no matter how far you go, she's faster than you are. She's been doing this for decades. She knows every hiding place, every escape route. And now that you've watched this, she's coming for you too.